Hey everyone, welcome back to What Do You Watch? I'm Kovacevich, and this is my Star Wars Rebels, The Siege of Lothal, Top 5 Fanboy Moments. Alright, so my number 5 is when Ezra tries to do the Jedi mind trick on the Stormtrooper, but is unable to do so, and then Kanan has to come in and do it for him. I thought this was perfect. A little perfect nod to the Jedi mind trick, showing us that not every Jedi can do it. You have to be experienced and you have to have trained a while to be able to do this to somebody. Also, I really liked when Kanan said, "I wished it worked on you." I thought that was hilarious. Number 4, Kanan disguises himself as a Stormtrooper. Now, I really love this nod to episode 4. I thought it was perfect. I also love the way that Kanan just kind of rebelliously went over and just said he's going to make some friends and steals the uniform. Kanan kind of had this throughout the episode where he kind of was not anti-Jedi, but he was a little un-Jedi-like. Not really wanting to help people, kind of afraid. There was a lot of fear in Kanan this episode, which I'm interested on how Vader's going to work that against him, because Vader was a huge part of this episode. And really, this hour-long episode coming out before the season really gets started, I think it was really just to boost up how awesome they're going to make Vader in this series. Alright, number 3. We're getting into the Vader moments, because the rest of these are going to be all Darth Vader. I might do a little extra bonus Darth Vader talk at the end of the video. But number 3 is when Vader tracks the Ghost back to the fleet. And the reason, it seems simple, but the reason that this is a big moment for me is because this is the same thing he does in episode 4 to track the Millennium Falcon back to Yavin, which is the whole setup for the end of that movie. And Tarkin even asks him in the movie, he's like, "Taking an awful risk, Vader, this better work." So despite the fact that he's done it before, Tarkin was still a little hesitant. I really like how we're getting to rethink how the original series was, what was really going on, because we're getting a little more backstory now that is actually pertaining to the original series, and not just a little boy Anakin running around and whining like a bitchy teenager and then becoming Darth Vader somehow. Now, number 9 is another nod to the original series. It's when Vader speaks with the Emperor at the very end of the episode and discuss that his apprentice, that Anakin Skywalker's apprentice, Ahsoka Tano, is still alive. It's the same way when he said that he believed that Luke was the son of Anakin Skywalker. It's almost a mirror of that scene. And I really loved how when the Emperor said that she would lead to finding more Jedi, Vader's mind jumped immediately to Obi-Wan Kenobi. I love that's dreading him, that he is pulled towards his former master and his former best friend, and he's pulled towards that battle that happens in episode 4. We're almost getting the build up to that story arc climax from there. Kind of got in episode 3, we know they fought before, but we're really starting to see how that's building up in Vader, and it makes a lot of sense that he's able to immediately know that Obi-Wan's on the Death Star in episode 4 and know that almost what is going to happen. Okay, here it is, number 1. The apprentice lives. Amazing moment. If you're a fan of the Clone Wars, this moment is just perfect. Ahsoka and Kanan reach out with the Force to try to figure out how powerful this pilot is that is just flying circles around the Rebel fleet. And they reach out and they sense it, and Ezra's sensing it, and Ezra's like, "I know who it is. It's that cold feeling. It's that guy we encountered down on Lothal, the guy who kicked our butt in a lightsaber fight," which wasn't even a lightsaber fight, right? It was basically Darth Vader just toying with them the whole time. Ezra knows who it is, but Ahsoka doesn't know. Ahsoka has no knowledge of them encountering Vader down on Lothal. So as soon as she senses who it is, and Vader says, "The apprentice lives," she screams and blacks out. Just passes out for who knows how long. The sheer impact of Vader's presence, of the presence of her former master being this epitome of evil, of fear, of hate, affecting Ahsoka. I can't wait to see how that storyline continues, how that story arc ends, if it ends. Does Ahsoka eventually die? We don't know. She's obviously past episode 3. Rebels is the only thing we have to go off of to know if Ahsoka is alive by the time episode 4 comes around. So that's why this moment gets the #1 fanboy moment, the #1 favorite moment from me for this first episode of season 2 of Rebels. So to close out the video, I'm going to do some real quick Vader bonus moments, or bonus things. So first of all, James Earl Jones is back to voice Vader. I mean, they could have got, you know, any decent voice actor, modulated the voice, and been fine, but I really love that James Earl Jones came back to play Darth Vader. I mean, Billy D. Williams came back to play Lando Calrissian as well. We know Anthony Daniels always does C-3PO. That's all great, but the voice for Vader, it being perfect, it being correct, it being the right voice, I thought it had a really big impact on the show. What also had a big impact was all the terrifying things Vader was doing. So let's get a real quick roundup of those. So he definitely was the one who had Minister Tua killed. I mean, it's pretty obvious that he was behind that. Even Agent Callus said to him, everything went as you predicted. So I'm pretty sure he coordinated that. Next, completely trashes Kanan and Ezra in a lightsaber battle. I mean, it was just toying. It wasn't even a fight. And he basically was about to cut Ezra's head off. If you really think about it, he was about to just cut Ezra's head off, if not for Kanan coming in and distracting him a little bit. Next, he burns Tarkintown to the ground. Now, it sounds like they took the residents captive. They took the refugees captive, which I thought it would have been better if you just burned to the ground with them still in it. Just torch the damn thing. Oh, and one more awesome moment. When Ezra and Kanan drop the walkers on top of Vader and he just lifts them up and drops them behind him. Oh my god. Alright guys, that's all I got for you this week. Be sure to head over to whatdowewatch.com to get all of our content. Check out our Twitter page, check out our Facebook page, and be sure to check out our YouTube channel. I know you found the video, but check out the rest of the channel. We have a Star Wars playlist, we have a Game of Thrones Season 5 playlist, we have a bunch of other fun stuff, sports, movies, television. Go and check those things out, and especially be sure to check out last week's video, which not a lot of people have checked out yet. You should go check it out. I ranked the 6 Star Wars films from best to worst, worst to best. And check out my Rebels Season 1, Episode 1, The Spark of the Rebellion, top 5 moments I did a year ago, or was listening a year ago, as it was back in October. And also go over to StarWars.com and check out the first season if you haven't seen it yet. If you, for some reason, you watched the first episode of Season 2, which you'd be perfectly fine, because it was amazing. Alright guys, until next time, I'm Kovacevich. Bye-bye.